and welcome to another episode of Shots, the movie review podcast by filmmakers. In today's episode, we will be reviewing the Scott Cooper-directed movie Antlers, 2021, starring Kerry Russell, Jesse Plemons, and
small little boy,
Jeremy T. Thomas.
That's his name?
Yes. I did my research. The filming location is in Canada, but it is set in Oregon, in case anyone was wondering.
And it looks like it's in Oregon. They did a good job. That looks like some little Rust Belt town sort of place where it's like, not a lot of good things are happening here.
Yeah, so the movie is, up front, a drama
Hey,
horror.
I'm Max.
And I'm Chandler.
I'm Haley. I didn't watch the movie, so please tell me about it.
We're going to convince her to watch it or not watch it. Actually, we're going to convince her not to watch it because I didn't like it.
It is a horror movie. It says it's also a mystery, but, no.
No.
Not really. There's no mystery. You know what it's about once you read the title.
Yeah.
Antlers.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's about antlers.
Someone gets stabbed with antlers.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Right out of the gate, things they did wrong. So this is Scott Cooper. Scott Cooper did some of my favorite movies of the last decade. He did Hostiles, which is great.
Great movie.
He did Out of the Furnace with Christian Bale and Casey Affleck and the star-studded cast. Which, again, none of these movies are fun to watch, but they're good movies. They're heavy hitting. They do not make you feel good. They don't give you that uplifting, chaos vanquished feeling that a movie like The Rescue does, which we've spoken about in the past.
This movie made me angry for a few reasons. One, I'm going to give Scott a little bit of leeway, this much out of a ton, because it is technically his first horror
It's his first horror movie.
So, shots were well done. The few scares,
Atmosphere was good.
Atmosphere was
Shots
great.
were done well.
It's clearly low budget. They spent...
Is it? It's got Guillermo del Toro as a producer.
I think it's more of... I jokingly said this when we watched it, but I think it's kind of a cash grab situation.
Right.
Because the actors are pretty... There's pretty big actors in it, considering the storyline. Unfortunately... Okay, horror movies bar is always set low. We knew it was about the... Wendigo, right? Wendigo.
I'm confident.
Native American mythological creature. And this is not ruining anything. This is in the trailer. However, once you finally see the Wendigo and see what is happening in the end of the second act, every character arc that was built is gone.
Right.
Every character arc. And this is from a book by Nick Antoza, who's a screenwriter, and he wrote the book The Quiet Boy, and this is based off of that. Nick did Brand New Cherry Flavor, which is on Netflix. So he's a weird writer he writes dark stuff. But once the Wendigo comes and you figure out what's going on, it's just trash.
They've got Graham Greene in it also, and the brother and sister, their names, who you've already said.
Carrie and Jesse.
They're good, and they're good in a classic. They've got their own issues in a classic kind of story, horror story or regular story. Their backstory is real. It's fleshed out well enough for me. I think Tommy, our friend, didn't like. He was like, "What's the point of her being an addict and a recovery?" It's because she had a fucked up life, and now she's trying to help this boy because she doesn't want another boy or another soul to go through that. But so they're the two main characters. I liked him as a cop, being what do you want me to do in this methed out town? I can't do that much. And her being idealistic. Is this what the unintentional funny or intentionally funny line? Is this what they teach you in California? And it's the drawings of a horror show.
Yeah.
But they got Graham Greene in it. Everyone loves Graham Greene. Famous Native American actor, shows up a lot, and they don't utilize him at all.
They don't utilize enough. I would be interested to know what Native Americans think of this movie, to be honest, because I feel like they didn't utilize the superstition enough. My biggest question with this movie is why. There was clear foreshadowing, but the script was underdeveloped. Why is she back in her hometown, Carrie Russell? Why is the Wendigo all of a sudden coming at, like, why is this the thing? Why is Jesse Plemons not married and has no family as a cop, clearly in his 30s? Why did other things happen of people dying? Like, why did no one care about this kid until suddenly ex-alcoholic teacher comes into town? There was just so many answers I had, or questions I had for no answers.
Yeah.
And it could be simple answers. It's just give them to me.
Yeah. He missed the mark, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Little mark missing. It's also weird, like, maybe we're jaded souls. The horror in it, I feel like they could have done better. I guess low budget cash grab, not gonna flush it out. The horror elements of it, I didn't think were done well enough.
No. And I think the two major kills were so much better than the final scene, the final, like, climactic.
Right.
Like,
by that point,
I was like, I've already seen what I needed to see.
It took a long time to get here. Yeah, it was an unfortunate miss, and you don't need to see it, is what I'm saying.
I think
Go see Out of the Furnace, go see Hostiles, go see another one of his.
Well, but as far as the creature,
goes, but
what did you? I liked a new fun creature.
But if you've got Guillermo del Toro as a producer, again, it's this weird thing where we're holding it.
More.
You're holding a standard. Like if this were first timers, who did The Witch? Roger.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Roger, whoever directed The Witch and then The Lighthouse, and he's got a new movie coming out soon that looks really good. Again, like The Witch, unknown director. Watching that for the first time, I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is badass." It might not be perfect. It's pretty much perfect, but going into this, I was like, "This guy has done these other phenomenal things." You got Guillermo del Toro attached to it, like the creatures in Pan Labyrinth from a movie like 20 years ago. Those creatures were better, scarier, weirder, and like just more memorable, all in all, than this movie. Why does this movie exist?
Yeah, why does it? And I left the ending. I was like, eh.
If everybody died, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, the kid. Fuck that kid.
Oh my God.
That's what I say.
Cut that out.
No, I would tell the kid. I'd be like, no, I wouldn't say that to the character.
I was worried he was going to be like a main character, and that is like my new death knell for movies in my ranking system, is having main characters that you're supposed to be following that like
suck,
that don't speak hardly, that are just so passive in their existence.
Millie Bobby Brown in Stranger Things didn't speak. Season one.
Right.
Yes, season
of course. I know names.
Happens a lot with minors. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We can have them on set.
Yeah, you get them on set, and then you realize, like, hey, what are the really important scenes we need this kid for? Because I don't really want to go over too many hours with this kid. Like, we need to time it out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why half the movies you're like, oh, let's pretend like Bobby's asleep in the back. Like, the whole movie.
It just... dud. Final score. First of all, Haley, would you see this based on how we've described it?
Sounds fascinating.
Life's too short.
You really lost me at horror film.
Right.
I'm not huge into horror. I did see, like, Last Night in Soho, I thought was great. Like, there's a couple of movies that, like, I'll splurge on because I really like the director or, like, it just looks visually interesting and I'll watch, but I can do maybe one of those a year, and I think Last Night in Soho was this year's model.
Interesting.
So, especially since you guys have sold it so well. Yeah. I definitely will not waste my time on this one.
Yeah.
Go see Blood Quantum, the first half of that movie, instead of watching this movie. Yeah. Blood Quantum, I don't know what year it came out. It's recent.
Just the first half?
And then falls. It's the second half of it's so fucking bad. First half is yes, and then the second half is like, oh god damn it.
Sorry, Scott Cooper.
Sorry. If you want to hang out, we will hang out.
Yeah. DM
you can
us.
come defend your creation.
Yeah. Just
you're stillborn.
Give us a DM. I would rate this 3.5.
3.5. Good God. I wouldn't go that. It's got atmosphere. It's got...
How opposite?
It's a real movie.
No, I give it...
Fine, a 4. A 4.
I give it
a 4. That's all I'm giving.
And if you want like the Native American horror elements, go watch Blood Quantum. If you want a female who has been molested by her dad, go watch
Your home
Gerald. Go watch Gerald's Game. Gerald's Game flew
Yeah.
under the radar. That movie is fucked up. It's dark, and it commits to what it is.
Yeah.
Whereas this was like...
It dances around the darkness.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Sounds like go watch any other horror movie.
Yeah.
This is like,
Yeah.
This one.
you know, if you're home and it's on Hulu or something, it's not. But if it is, sure.
Don't.
But don't. It is available to rent on Amazon Prime for $5.99. I don't recommend renting it. If it happens to go on streaming, sure. But,
That's what a 4 means to you.
yeah.
Yeah. But what did I give a number? 5.2.
Don't look at me. This is the rating.
5.2.
You're going over the middle ground.
5.
Interesting.
No, I wouldn't. 4.9. 4.9.
Okay.
4.9.
So, this has been another episode of Shots. Sorry, Antlers. You didn't make the cut for homie here in the booth. But we'll see you next time.
With a better movie, hopefully.